What if I told you that one missing mineral could be the reason you're still battling long COVID symptoms months or even years later? If you're dealing with crushing fatigue, brain fog that won't lift, food sensitivities that seem to multiply by the week, or crashes that leave you bedridden for days, the answer might not be another expensive test or complex protocol. It might be zinc. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use it to finally break free from long COVID's grip. I'm Carrie Bailey, your functional nutritionist and long COVID recovery specialist, and I've helped hundreds of people move from barely surviving to actually thriving without the overwhelm, without the guesswork, and definitely without the just rest more advice that's gotten you nowhere. Today, we're diving into zinc deficiency, the hidden epidemic that's keeping your immune system stuck in overdrive. You'll learn why traditional zinc tests fail, why your multivitamin isn't cutting it, and my exact protocol for safely replenishing this critical mineral. But first, let me ask you something. How many of these sound familiar? You react to foods you used to love. You crash after the smallest activity. You feel wired but tired constantly. Your skin breaks out or flares up randomly. You catch every bug that's around you. If you nodded to even one of these, zinc deficiency is likely part of your story. So here's what's really happening after COVID and why zinc becomes absolutely critical. COVID doesn't just damage your lungs and steal your taste. It creates what I call the perfect storm for zinc depletion. First, there's this viral assault. When COVID invaded your body, your immune system went into overdrive. Every white blood cell, every antibody, every anti-inflammatory response, they all depend on zinc. Your body literally burns through its zinc stores to fight viruses. The second part of the perfect storm going on is inflammation. But here's the kicker. Long COVID keeps the inflammatory fire burning. Your immune system never gets the all clear signal, so it keeps demanding zinc that's no longer there. The third part of the perfect storm is the copper connection. This is where things get really interesting. So many long COVID patients develop what we call copper dysregulation. So as your liver tries to process the viral debris and inflammation, it dumps excess copper into your system. This could be copper that's toxic, that is just dumping, but it's usually not good copper. And this excess copper, well, it blocks zinc absorption like a locked door. So on top of COVID's assaults, we're living in a zinc-depleted world. Soil depletion means that there's less zinc in our food. Processed foods are a zinc wasteland. And stress hormones steal zinc from your reserves. And common medications can even block zinc absorption. So even seemingly healthy foods like grains and beans contain phytate that bind to zinc. So the result? You're running on empty and your body is screaming for help in the only language that it knows, which are symptoms. Can you trace your zinc depletion back to one of these factors? Sometimes connecting the dots is the first step into healing. Zinc isn't just another supplement. It's like the master key that unlocks your body's ability to heal itself. Zinc acts like a volume control for your immune system. And when you're deficient, that volume is stuck on maximum, causing hypersensitivity to everything. Adequate zinc helps dial it back to normal levels. Then you've got histamine regulation. So those random reactions to foods and smells and the environment, that's often histamine gone wild. But zinc helps stabilize the cells that release histamine because those are your mast cells, those are immune cells, and this can reduce those out of nowhere reactions that make you feel like you're allergic to life itself. Next, you have gut barrier repair. So your gut lining is like a screen door, right? It should let the nutrients through, but keep the toxins out. But long COVID often damages that barrier, creating what you've probably heard as called leaky gut. So zinc provides the building blocks to repair the holes in the lining of the gut. Then you've got mitochondrial support. So if you feel like your internal battery is dead, zinc is essential for energy production at the cellular level. And without it, your mitochondria can't generate ATP that powers your daily life. Next up, we've got the nervous system stability, that walking on eggshells feeling. Zinc supports your vagus nerve, your body's natural calming system. It's like turning up the dial on the rest and digest mode. So I'm curious, which of these resonates most with your experience? Energy crashes, food reactions, that constant on edge feeling? Let me know in the comments. Let's bust some myths about zinc testing, because this information is keeping people stuck. There is the zinc tally test myth, right? I've done it. I've done the zinc tally test. I've tested it on myself. I've tested it with clients. So you've probably heard of the zinc tally test. You might swish some zinc sulfate in your mouth, and if it tastes metallic, you're fine. And if it tastes like water, you're deficient. But here's the truth. This test is virtually useless for long COVID patients. Why? Because long COVID often damages your taste receptors and disrupts your nervous system. So you could be severely deficient in zinc, but still taste that metallic flavor. Or you could have adequate zinc, but taste nothing due to nerve damage. Even blood tests can be misleading. Serum zinc only shows what's floating in your blood right now. And that's not what's actually inside your cell, where the real work is happening. Your body will rob zinc from the tissues to maintain blood levels so that you have normal blood zinc, while being severely deficient at the cellular level. Instead of relying on faulty tests, I look at symptoms. I look at health history and also functional markers. And the body is constantly communicating its needs. We just need to listen. If you're taking a multivitamin and you're thinking that you're covered with zinc, I hate to break this to you, but you're not. Most multivitamins contain anywhere from 5, maybe 10 milligrams of zinc, and that's barely enough for a maintenance level, let alone a recovery from depletion level. Worse, they often use zinc oxide, which is the cheapest, least absorbable form. Then it's also like trying to fill up a bucket with a teaspoon, right? It might evaporate faster than it fills up. Multivitamins also cram a lot of nutrients together, which might actually be competing for absorption. So you might take iron with your zinc, and iron's gonna block the zinc. You might have calcium blocking your zinc. You might have copper blocking your zinc. And you're essentially paying for nutrients that cancel each other out. So in my practice, I primarily use zinc sulfate. And here in the US, this is a liquid form, but I've heard other people explain it as in a capsule form. But it's highly absorbable, and the sulfate supports detoxification as well. So my backup to zinc sulfate, if you can't find it, it's not accessible, is zinc picolinate. And this is a chelated form that's really gentle on the stomach, and it's generally in a capsule form. So the key is using therapeutic dosages, somewhere between 15 and 30 milligrams, taken strategically away from competing nutrients and absorption blockers. Here's my step-by-step method for safely replenishing zinc, the same protocol that I use with my private clients. Phase 1, this is the building phase. So this can take a week or two, right? Before we even touch zinc, we want to make sure that there B12 support for nerve and methylation function. Is there magnesium to calm the nervous system? And is there a buffered or food-based vitamin C to support the immune modulation? And then the next phase is phase 2. I call it the gentle introduction, right? This is like anywhere from weeks 3 or 4. So then we start zinc slowly. 1 drop of zinc sulfate, generally on the tongue works, but if you are super sensitive, it's okay to put it on the back of your hand. But this allows you to monitor your body's response without overwhelming your system. So if you're extremely sensitive, you might feel mild nausea, temporary energy shifts, or slight detox reactions. So this isn't bad. It's just your body starting to mobilize old debris. So we just need to go slow. Also, phase 3, this would be like the therapeutic dosage. This might be like weeks 5 on. So once your system starts to adapt to having zinc in there, we can gradually increase to therapeutic levels. So if 15 to 20 milligrams is a daily maintenance dose, then you're going to have like 25 to 30 milligrams a day for like an active recovery dose. And you always, again, want to take this ideally on empty stomach if you're not too sensitive. So here's some timing secrets. If you can, take zinc on an empty stomach, or when the only thing you've had in there is maybe a little bit of fruit for maximum absorption. It can cause nausea, so again, take a little bit with food. You also want to avoid taking it with coffee or tea, although for most people I recommend taking out coffee or tea, except for herbal forms, which it should be fine for herbal forms. I'm curious, have you tried zinc supplementation before? What happened? Your story could help someone else, so please share it in the comments below. Zinc replenishment isn't always smooth sailing. That's actually normal. Here's what to watch for. So in this first 2 weeks, in this awakening phase, you might experience mild detoxification symptoms. This might look like headaches and fatigue, temporary increase in sensitivities. You might have emotional waves as your nervous system recalibrates. So don't panic. This often means it's working and your body is finally getting the support it needs to start cleaning the house. Weeks 3 and 4, this is the stabilization phase. You'll likely notice reactions to food becoming less intense. Your sleep should start to improve. Your energy becomes more stable, less crashes. And then in weeks 5 through 8 is the breakthrough time, right? This is where the magic really happens. Food sensitivities dramatically reduce. You're going to have a little more consistent energy throughout the day. You're going to have mental clarity is going to come back. Any kind of skin issues should calm down. And you should have an overall sense of stability. Now, some red flags to look out for. Stop or reassess if you experience severe nausea or vomiting. Extreme fatigue that doesn't improve, doesn't lighten up across the day, and new symptoms that feel wrong. And you'll just know, right? Your intuition is just going to tell you, this doesn't feel right, Carrie. Remember that healing isn't linear, but it should trend upward over time. Zinc is powerful, but it's not a magic bullet. It's one piece of the long COVID recovery puzzle. So why zinc works so well is because long COVID creates a state of chronic immune activation. And zinc helps shift your immune system from fight mode back into maintenance mode. It's like switching from, emergency sirens to just background music. There is a positive ripple effect. So when zinc levels normalize, your gut barrier strengthens, your inflammation decreases. You should notice energy production improves, stress and resilience increase, and sleep quality enhances. So each improvement creates a positive feedback loop, accelerating your overall recovery. Beyond zinc, so once you've got zinc in, right, and you're replenishing it, and your body's finally getting up to its optimal levels, we can layer in other targeted nutrients. This might be a time when you want to bring in a full B complex for energy and nerve support. You might want to bring in more adaptogenic herbs or more cat's claw or some herbs that can actually start killing the virus once you build up your reserves. If you've been battling long COVID symptoms for months or years and you're feeling like you're managing symptoms instead of actually healing, I want you to know something important. You're not broken, you're not crazy, you're just missing key support. And zinc deficiency is real. It's common and it's fixable. But you don't have to figure this out alone. I've created a comprehensive long COVID recovery guide that walks you through my complete method. Not just zinc, but the entire roadmap that I use with my private clients to restore stability and reclaim their lives. You can download my free long COVID recovery guide. There's a link in the description and in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. And more importantly, thanks for not giving up on yourself. If this video gave you some hope and you connect some dots, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Long COVID can feel incredibly lonely, but you're not alone in this journey. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, be gentle with yourself. Healing takes time, but it's absolutely possible. Bye for now.